Thanks for showing me around tonight, but we have more adventures tomorrow. We're not allowed in, so this is just a photo.
So basically just wrapping up in Daegu and heading on a train towards Busan. So, here we go! Welcome to the hostel life where they kind of live like a pigsty. I just got here and it kind of reeks, so gotta figure out how to manage that somehow. So look at these ducks. This is on the top of Lotte Tower. Oh, they rock. Oh my god, okay, okay, maybe I don't want to break it. You guys can see, but I'm gonna head all the way over there to check out the Gamcheon village where all the buildings are colorful.
But it's pretty cool how I was here like 5 years ago and now I'm back. Excited to get around and start doing things. But definitely got to take some photos now before the sun sets, so photo time.
So close by to Chakhalji Market, they also do this open air street food market as well, which lasts up until about 11 PM. But honestly, if you were in Seoul, like Myeongdong markets are a lot better than this.
Starting off the day strong. Found this really cool building on the way to Museum 1, and I just had lunch, I had some more chicken, but I found this really cool building. I've just been shooting it, and then now I'm gonna start heading to another place. But look at the architecture of it, like it's really cool. This is pretty much the film area, so Museum of Film. I think the big cinemas here, and there's like a big theater here, like all that is seats. So it's really cool. I don't know if there's going to be a screening here, but I might come back later because that building is, I think during sunset that would look really nice. So alright, time to find my next stop because I'm currently lost. Alright, found it, Museum 1. This is also kind of like a Team Labs thing, but more art based, I feel. So let's go and have a look at things to do around Haeundae Beach.
This place, I would say, is pretty interesting, but not as good as Team Labs. I like how Team Labs has kind of become the benchmark for every digital museum, but this one was really interactive and I really liked the visual and the design of it, but it wasn't as photogenic as other places, I would say. Like, look at this. Like, you just have a room of cats. But this place is covered under the Discover Busan pass, so if you already have that, it's pretty much free to just enter, so it's worth like 20 minutes of your time. Just gonna breeze through this and see. Centum Shopping Center. Even though this place won the world's largest shopping mall in 2009, this place is really big. Like, you could spend so much time in here shopping. Aside from just the indoor ice rink, the Pengyu shopping area was of interest, where the basement of the giant shopping mall was pretty much a kind of event space. So this time it was
everything is Pengyu.
A large area of just Pengyu, this cursed penguin that you see. But in essence, there's just so much shopping that you can do in this whole giant shopping mall. Like, for one of the rooftops, there's this giant dinosaur playground where you can just dump your kids at. But this place is Haeundae Beach, where kind of everyone talks about when they're going to Busan. But because this place is talked about a lot, I'm just gonna breeze over and skip it, because this place in the distance here is what we're looking for. These are one of the places that if you're traveling alone or are single, you kind of think about life, you know? But basically, this is a pretty cute and romantic date spot, I would say. You get to see the entire view of the Busan Haeundae Beach. But you gotta remember that you're paying for a one-way ticket, so you kind of have to walk about 20 minutes on the way back. It's not too bad. But for our next cute spot in Busan, think of like this giant village where there's a lot of cute decorations,
a
lot of themes, and places to explore. Like, this whole village is just filled with little Easter eggs everywhere. One tip I'd say is to make sure you wear appropriate footwear and to go a bit earlier than usual, just to avoid the crowd and all the tour buses. But we're gonna head to this place next, this temple by the sea. But first, we need to grab some lunch at Ikea. I just wanted to see the difference between the Australian Ikea and the Korean one. I'll save you the trouble though, it's not that great. So, next spot is the Luge. I don't think you would expect this in Korea, but it was on the way from the station to the temple that we were heading to. And so, of course, we had to go a few rounds. But the temple wasn't too far away, so we made sure to get there nice and early, and it's very different from what I've ever seen in Korea and Japan. And I can say that because I've been to a lot of different temples in Korea and Japan, but this is the first one that I've seen that's by the sea. Although it's become a bit touristy, the vibe is totally different from the other temples that you see in Japan and Korea. So there's a statue here where you can kind of throw a coin in. It's kind of like a wishing well, and I can assure you that I got no luck that day. And if you wanted to go Lotte World in Seoul but didn't get the chance to, there's one about 20 minutes away from here, and it's pretty easy to get to. So you can either hike about 2 hours to get to the skywalk, or you can just take a bus. Honestly though, the skywalk is pretty short, so I don't know if it's worth it or not. There's a lot of other better skywalks around in Busan. But they also decorate the base of the skywalk with a lot. So there's even like a dessert pudding cafe there as well, which is pretty nice. One thing though is they don't let you have anything sticking out, which is fair, but I got told off here because I was using a selfie stick. The guy there was yelling at me. But if you wanted to do something similar to this, I would highly recommend Haeundae Beach instead. It's much more accessible, there's plenty of restaurants nearby, and there's even a cable car that you can get on. So if you're peckish or just need kind of a relaxation in nature, this is the perfect spot for you. It takes you to this giant park where it's kind of like a giant garden, I would say, so you gotta just relax and chill there. There's heaps of spots for a great view here. One thing I did notice though is there's quite a few steps in this area, so be prepared if you want to explore this entire park. I really like the design of this whole beach. Just from the design of everything to the cable car and that giant walk above the water. But with that all explored and done, we head to the next spot, which is Gamcheon market to fill up our stomachs. Although this place gets a little crowded at night, I think a trip to this market might be worth it. Mainly because there's a lot of street food here that I haven't seen in other markets. And if you're feeling adventurous, Chokpao Alley is pretty close by as well, which is a street full of vendors selling pork trotters or pork feet. So according to Visit Korea, this place is one of the largest markets in Korea. And if you go during the day, you can probably pick up a few souvenirs here and there as well, not just food. But I'd highly recommend just strolling around this whole area and just maybe stumbling across new things, because this place is loaded with a lot of different stores that maybe I just haven't come across. So I heard about this place on Instagram where you see all these trees here. They're all supposed to be filled with cherry blossoms, but apparently I was too early, so I didn't get to see it all. But even though there weren't any cherry blossoms on the mountain, I was still lucky enough to see some in Busan itself. So basically, if you start at the shopping center and just walk your way up the river, there's just lines and lines of cherry blossoms. So I'm happy I got to at least see some. I'm not 100% sure on the correct terminology here, but these were mainly white, so I don't know if they're particular cherry blossoms or not, but I know the Japanese ones are mostly pink. But if you fancy a walk, then this street is perfect for you, because there's just lines and lines of flowers everywhere. And if you're ever tired, you can just stop into a shop or a cafe and just rest. So I had to dig up some old footage here just because it was closed the day I was there. But pretty much this is a seafood market where you can come up and buy any piece of seafood you want, like this giant crab we bought for 300 AUD, and they'll take you upstairs and cook it for you. I'm not the biggest seafood fan, but if you are, you definitely have to visit here. Like this crab, I definitely got sick of it after a few bites, just because I'm not into seafood. You can get it steamed or boiled, but if you're really adventurous, this is what everyone talks about, live octopus. You can also get that here. But the actual seafood I like is eel, chango as they call it, where each slice here is $30 and you can get it grilled. And this was genuinely one of the best meals I've ever had. So I don't have a specific restaurant in particular, but around Haeundae Beach, there's a lot of restaurants along the curve that sell this particular dish. And genuinely, you just have to try this dish if you ever come to Busan. Like, I still dream about it these days. So in the morning before I checked out, I had to just climb up the mountain again and just check if the cherry blossoms may have bloomed within the 5 days I was gone. There definitely was more blooming, and it was definitely pitch black, and I was tired walking up the goddamn hill. But at the top there was unfortunately no more flowers, so I was still pretty early in the season. But that basically wraps up my Busan trip. I did stay a bit longer in Korea just to meet my family and just to explore other places like Namyang. Like there was this cool bamboo forest that I thought was a bit better than Kyoto's Arashiyama forest. But that's basically it for Korea. So if you've stuck along with me this far, thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys learned more about what are things to do in Korea, places to explore. I'm going to have like a giant summary video that will be posted soon as well. But for now, here are some of the other places I explored while I was just finishing up Korea, like this dumpling place, this Samyeol cafe. That was extremely cute, like they're so fluffy. But that basically wraps up Korea. And so for a small ticket price of $150, you can fly from Seoul to Tokyo. And that's what I did. So we're gonna start the Tokyo Chronicles for the next 3 months. And there's gonna be a lot more vlogs coming along to kind of show what I did, similar to this whole Korea series as well. So make sure to stay tuned by pressing that subscribe button so you get notified when I post a new video. And I will see you guys in the next one. So take care. And I'll see you guys in Japan. I'm really excited for this.